Good evening and salutations, my bold and beautiful fans. I love this show. I really love this show because you have moments in this show that are just priceless. And I mean, listen, I gotta give them credit where credit's due. Is when they find ways to talk not around a particular subject, but like talk about it without using things that people just already know about. I mean, you got Eric that's practically sitting there talking to Donna, thanking her for um I don't know how long I can actually hold out. I don't know how long I can actually just not say the things that we're all thinking about. There's only so many euphemisms that I can come up with, but pretty much just thank her for um a rise. Okay, I'm really trying. He pretty much thanks her for an erection. Okay, screw it. I'm just gonna sit there and say it. Screw it. He thanks her for an erection, and I'm just like, so this is. How do you go to bed at the end of the day thinking, you know, I really actually thanked her for an erection, and that was a Friday. So yeah, he thanks her. He leaves. Brooke comes over, and it's the usual talk. You know, all Brooke has been doing is sounding like a broken record. It is constantly cheerleading Donna to be with Eric. It's literally verbatim. It gets to a point when I'm looking at my notes, I was like, I don't even have to I can practically copy and paste. Now you got Quinn that is furious, which is laughable. But she's furious. And she's talking to Shauna. You know, at some point I'm just gonna call it Denise Richards. I really am. She's furious. She's like, I can't believe, I was sitting there overhearing everything they were talking about. And they were talking about how Donna gave my husband an erection. And I'm sitting there thinking, and you had sex with another man. So I don't really. I'm just like, is this chick just not that? Is she just not self-aware that while she's furious about the Logan sisters constantly, being in her business and bad mouthing her and trying to, destroy her marriage and stuff like that. I mean, it's not like it's without merit of the things that she's been doing. But she's furious with Donna. She is furious. And how even Shauna's like, yo, why don't you just take a beat, chill for a little bit. You're not exactly in the right headspace to be confronting anyone. And Donna's like, nah. And Quinn is like, nah. I'm gonna deal with this head on. I'm gonna deal with those two in a minute. But for right now, I gotta tackle the quote unquote problem. So she confronts Donna and is just furious. Now, granted, from what I heard in the comment section or Instagram, Donna kind of has a checker pass as well. They both do. And so this is what makes this confrontation, pretty pathetic when you really start to think about it. But yeah, and honestly, to tell you the truth, in this manner, Quinn is so damn pathetic. She literally comes at her talking about, oh, you gay, you did something inappropriate. She did something inappropriate. This chick is really sitting there calling Donna what she did is inappropriate. The same woman who cheated on her husband and then got a free pass to continue to do it if she wanted to, and she accepted, but she has the audacity to come at Donna and be like, you're messing with my husband, and that's my husband, and blah 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 blah. This girl has so many issues. I feel like I could just be here all day. I really do. It is just a train wreck watching. And the sad thing is that Donna just comes across as very mousy. Okay? She comes across as very mousy. So while she's going off on her, Snit saying, "You're gonna stay away from my husband." By the way, when I saw her block the door, when she put like the chair in front of the door, I was like, is this chick serious? Yo, let's go get the Logan sisters and whoop her ass. That's what I'm sitting there thinking. Let's go get the Logan sisters and just take a bag of quarters, a sock of quarters, and just, really go to town on her. Which is just hilarious, by the way, because she thinks that confronting Donna, because Donna gave her husband an erection where, well, let's be honest, she couldn't do it, is going to somehow save her marriage. And in reality, it's just going to wind up pushing her husband away and pushing her husband towards Donna. Because, I mean, let's be honest. I say this coming from the quote-unquote male species. Donna looks a hell of a lot hotter than Quinn. Quinn is pretty. Like, whatever. But, I mean, Donna, she's not Donna, alright? Let's just put it that way. She's not Donna, alright? I'm like, yo, listen, instead of using it to trying to confront Donna, why don't you, because you was like, oh, well, dripping yourself in honey and stuff like that. I was like, well, maybe you should try some honey then. Alright? Listen, we all got kinks. Okay? We all got kinks, fetishes. And, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, and it actually makes life great. And maybe you should sit there and maybe take some notes from her. Instead of, that you're doing, because it just looks pathetic and sad, and coming across as a hypocrite and a bunch of other analogies that I could sit there and say, but I think we all get the point at this stage. And Eric wants to sit there and tell his wife, which, to be honest, he should, because, honesty is the best policy. And besides, given what, he allowed his wife to do, I think you could sit there and take this L. And I did love how Quinn was all like, I was more than understanding. And I'm like, sweetheart, listen, at the end of the day, you chose to stay with this man because you quote unquote loved him. So if you loved him, then you can sit there and be in a sexless marriage. You could be in a sexless marriage. But come on, like, what are you doing? I feel like, honestly, tell you the truth, I'm not gonna lie. In some ways, I almost kind of felt like I just lost my train of thought because I'm sitting there thinking, this chick really came at her like we were all back in high school. That's how that whole image just came across. So Katie girl, got a little devious mind. I was about to sit there and say, who would ever thought, but everyone has been watching the show longer than me, so I think that pretty much answers my own question. So you got Katie. It's not even so much as matchmaking. She pretty much says that Donna is able to give him an erection, and Quinn can't do it. So, you know what? I want my sister to be with Eric, and, I'll leave a nice little path for you to be with Quinn. And he smiles or whatever. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When they talk about, oh, well, there was a reaction with Donna and Eric, and he's just like, really? I'm sitting there thinking, I get that Eric is your friend, but how are we not sitting there laughing about this more? I mean, come on, you're sitting there talking about, she gave him let's go, I'm going to say, she gave him a boner, alright? And we should just laugh about it because it's funny, and we're just like, oh, really? That's what happened? I'm like, how are you saying this without laughing your ass off? I mean, granted, we can all sit there and laugh about it because, it proves that there's nothing wrong with him, and that's, again, coming from the male species, that's a devastating thing to have that gift just go away. And I say that smilingly, but I'm also just like, no, that's really scary and actually devastating. Um, and the fact that I can sit there and say that it in a lot of ways and kind of smile and laugh about it just proves how much I even take that for granted. But the point is, he doesn't have to sit there. It's not a medical condition for him. So that's a huge relief. That's a huge weight off his shoulders, and that's a great thing. So yeah, sure, I'll be laughing about that. Boner, I said it right there. Carter. Now I'm thinking about Carter never actually said no to that plan. He really didn't. But he does hit on Katie, Cynthia, saying that because they talk about the Lonely Hearts Club or whatever, and he was like, I never feel lonely when I'm with you, and he grabs her hand or whatever, and he starts smiling at her. So I mean, let's be honest, I felt like that was gonna happen the moment that after Katie confronted Carter about what he was doing to Eric, after they both apologized to each other and stuff like that. I felt like there was going to be something. Because let's be honest, Katie doesn't want to be with Dollar Bill. And that's Bill for, the uninitiated. But, she doesn't want to be with him. And to be honest, I don't blame her. And the sad thing is that maybe her sister should, this is one of those times where it's like, I am totally 100% okay with the fact that I don't want to sit there and say the word that I'm going to sit there and say. It starts with a C and it has a block in it. But in this case, maybe her sister should be like, yo, listen, you don't want to be with him. Instead of Brooke sitting there, actually thinking about agreeing with helping Bill out with getting back Katie. She doesn't want to be with Bill, and, Carter's Carter. And Carter, started being single and, can't be with Quinn. Be with Katie. I like her. So, let me just double check my notes. I think that's about it. I really do. I think that's about it. If I missed anything, please write it down in the comment section below. I actually tell you the truth, I just want to sit there and thank everyone for watching yesterday. I know one of the videos only had like 38 views. And then I look at, because I always sit there and read the comments and stuff like that when YouTube allows me to. I always sit there and read the comments and stuff, and I looked at the views, I was like, oh, hey, this is actually higher than Days. Okay, I'm with it. So yeah, so I'm gonna sit there and thank everyone for watching. This show, it's so easy to say the most, I guess, crudest jokes possible. But let's be honest. Let's think about what we're, with the subject that we're dealing with. And the fact that every time somebody says something, they have to avoid saying certain things. But it's like, come on, we're adults here, right? And to be honest, most of that stuff, besides the B word that I said, it is a medical term. So, I'm not really being so much as crude humor as is, like, that's just the reality situation. So, yes, with that being said, I'm going to go on and thank you for watching. Be safe. Have a great weekend, because it's Friday. Wow. I almost actually forgot what day it was. Have a great weekend, and I will see you in the next video.